my studio. My name is Joanna Couch. I am the soap gal. Today I have with me my soap honey. His name is Darren Couch, and he lines all of my molds. I am so blessed to have a husband that lines molds for me. So what we are going to do in this episode of The Soap Gal, we are going to talk about slab molds. This is our slab. Our slab is also known as AKA dough pan, which you can get from Webstraunt online. You know, instead of restaurant, it's Webstraunt. And it is a dough rising pan. And what Darren is going to do right now, since like I said, he lines all my molds, he is going to show you how to line our AKA soap mold, not dough pan. And so Darren, take it away.
So there's two different ways that you can line your mold. You can use either a garbage bag where you cut up the garbage bag and you lay it out into the tray, or you can use freezer paper. We found that freezer paper works a lot better. It's less wrinkles on the bottom and on the sides. It just works out really well. So what you want to do is you want to take your tray, you want to measure the sides here and across, because you want your freezer paper to come down on the bottom and then come up here. So you're going to have 3 inches here, another 3 inches here, so it's a total of 6 inches, and across is 24. So you're going to have a total of 30 inches across there. Then we worry about our sides here. So again, it's going to be 24 inches, and I just come up 3 inches on all 4 sides here. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. I also use just regular lard that you can get from any grocery store, and I use that to line this mold. I've already done that. I've already pre-greased that. And so here's the strips that I cut out previously. Okay, and I'm just going to place that right there. And you really just want to kind of eyeball it. You don't have to get it exactly perfect. You just want to make sure that the trim is all the way on the bottom here correct. Okay, so you come down, and if it folds down a little bit underneath here, that's fine. You just want to make sure that it's nice and straight. And with your log splitter or your knife or whatever you use, you're going to cut off the edges anyway, so you just want a nice even texture, but it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Okay, so we're just going to smooth that out there. We'll do the same on the other side. Again, just making sure that it's as close to the base as possible. And this is where we're going to take our 30-inch cut. And I actually measured this here, which is a 16-inch width and a 24-inch length. So that's already been pre-cut. So I'm just going to start on one end. Just go all the way to the edge here. Bring that down, and you may have to bring it up and just kind of re-size it, just kind of play with it a little bit until you get the exact dimension here. Okay, and you can take either a scraper, plastic, not metal. Bondo knives work really well. You can get those at your hardware store, or you can just use your hand like I'm doing here and just smooth it down, just like that. And if you need to re-grease, just say something's not sticking up or something's sticking up, just put a little bit of grease here and just smooth that down. You notice that I grease with this finger here and I smooth with the other fingers just so that I don't get grease on the outside of the soap. And basically that's it. So the longest part of this is going to be actually the measuring and cutting. The application, actually putting it in to the mold, doesn't take much time. So at this point, I'm going to give it back to Joanna. Thank you.
So now that my soap honey has my mold, aka dough pan, made all lined and looking beautiful, we are going to be making a slab of lavender soap. We all know how well lavender sells. So in our last videos, we talked about master batching. So now I'm going to show you how to do those principles together. So we have our oils. Let's come and look at our recipe. I don't want to go too fast. So this is Soapmaker 3. And like I said before, if you make 1 bar of soap and sell it, you need to have Soapmaker 3. It is absolutely amazing. So in this recipe, we have 121 ounces of coconut, 151 ounces of olive, 30.3 ounces of castor, and 32 ounces of shea butter. In our master batch solution, we have our coconut, olive, and castor already measured out. We are going to add the additional 32 ounces of shea butter. And then when you look at our lye, this is what I want you to truly understand. We are going to be using that lye solution that we made in that video about how to make lye solution. And if you're interested, go back and watch that. That's video number 2 or episode number 2. But we are going to be using 1-to-1. So we have 1 part lye and 1 part water. And out of that solution, we're going to be using 6 pounds of that. Our added liquid that we are going to add to this recipe is an additional 4 pounds, 5.3 ounces of raw goat's milk. Yes, I said raw goat's milk. So if you make goat milk soap, this is how you can do it more efficiently. So we are going to use 6 pounds of lye and 4.5 pounds of goat's milk. But if you want to convert that to aloe vera juice or hydrosol or coconut cream or cucumber juice, beer, make sure it doesn't have the carbonation in it though, but any type of liquid you want to think of, that's how you can use your lye solution. And then we are going to be adding 12 ounces of our lavender essential oil. So let's go back and now let's create this recipe. Like I said, we have our oil already pre-made. We need to add our shea butter. So this is 32 ounces or 2 pounds of raw shea butter. And I purchased my shea butter from Arizona Soap Supply. I haven't found a better price for shea butter than from Arizona Soap Supply. Plus I'm in Arizona. And then we are going to add our raw goat's milk. So this is our raw goat's milk, and it comes from my old herd of goats that I had. But now it's our ranch. My brother, Russell, and his family purchased the goat's milk. So if you live in Arizona and you want raw goat's milk, let me know and I'll hook you up with my brother. So we're gonna add that to our oils. And then we're gonna need our essential oil. So, and I haven't measured that out yet. So we are going to measure out our essential oil. And we're going to be using 12 ounces. And this is 40-42 lavender. So measuring out 12 ounces of our essential oil. And this slab is a 34-pound slab. So now that we got our 12 ounces of essential oil, we're going to add that. Okay, so then we're going to need to add our titanium dioxide. And for our titanium dioxide and our mica, it says to use about 1 teaspoon per pound of oil is the given, but because we're doing a 2-color, I kind of split that. So we have 10 teaspoons of titanium dioxide and then 10 teaspoons of purple Playhouse mica, and I think this is a crafter's choice color. So we're gonna get our titanium. So now that our titanium's mixed, this is another little trick that I do. It's a half-gallon mason jar, and I'm gonna clean this off. Okay, so once this is clean, now we're going to mix our mica. Okay, and I don't want my purple to be this bright, so we are going to add in our titanium into our mix. And then we are going to take our mixer and we're going to mix mix it. That's starting to smell like lavender. No, I'm joking. So now that that is all mixed up, our next step is going to be our lye. So let me get my safety shield on. So now that I have my safety shield on, we are going to add our lye solution. So this is 100% lye, 100% water. So it's a 50-50 blend, okay? We have our goat's milk in it to represent the other. So now that I'm pouring in our lye, let's mix this up. Check our trace. I'm a little bit more of a trace. Okay, we're good with our trace. Whoops, that's not big enough. Hold on, let me. Okay, so now we're going to pour part of this into our mold. Okay. And then we're going to take the other part our pitcher. I think we're good. Lye safe. I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna mix this color drizzle. It will absorb into the soap base. So I'm gonna kind of mix it. Woo! Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now we're gonna pour some more white. Our purple. I don't have any rhyme or reason, I'm just kind of having fun. And then more white. And then let me get the spatula. Sorry, 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. I got my spatula. So, and we're gonna scrapey. Almost did a royalty soaps. Scrapey. But we're gonna scrape the sides. That's her coveted line. I'm not gonna say that. We all love her. And then we're gonna have some fun and make a little bit brighter with our oil, which this will absorb into the blend, and same with the titanium. Okay, so, and then we're gonna Now that we have all of it, now it comes time for the fun. So we're going to swirl. Come, are you able to see? Or come closer. So now that we have our 35 pounds of soap, we're gonna kind of hit it, so make sure it's nice and flat so they're all even. Okay, and now we're gonna swirl. So we're gonna go back and forth throughout the whole mixture. I think I need a little bit more white. And so it's just a lot of swirling, but after we do all this swirling, and then we'll let it sit in our mold for 24 hours. After we let it sit in our mold for 24 hours, then we're gonna cut it with our slab cutter, which I will put a clip in of us doing that. And then after we have our slab of soap, so that is finished. We're just gonna let that sit. You could also add more herbs to the top, but this customer don't want herbs. You can also add a little bit more drizzle. Just be creative, make it yours. So that's our slab. Here's 34 pounds of soap. And then after we do that, this is the next step. So you get to see more of our beautiful studio. So now we're gonna talk about cutting it. This right here is a log from a slab of soap. And this log right here is lemongrass and poppy seed. Oh, I love lemongrass and poppy seed. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna cut this into bars. When we first started back, this right here, a putty knife, which is AKA soap cutter, and this, which Darren, I think, made, or I don't remember, but and then with some slats in it, this was our soap cutter. So what we would do is we would take our piece of soap and we would put it in here, and then we would measure out what we need, line it up, and go down, and voila, we have a piece of soap. But I'm not laying this down correctly, so it's not a piece of soap. But the other way you can do it, but that's a way you can cut the soaps, and then just put a line for 1 inch, 1 1/4, whatever size bar that you need. But we are going to use so this one right here, I purchased, I think in 2012 from Essential Depot, and if you can tell, it's been 6 years. It has had a lot of wear and tear, and if you notice, I'm missing 2 wires. They broke, but that's not too bad after 6 years, so really good. So this is a 1 inch cutter. So what you're gonna do is gonna take your soap and you're gonna line it up, and then watch the magic. So now we have a perfect bar of soap. If you want, this right here is so if we wanted it to be a sample size. So this is a sample size, and then this right here, we cut out a bar, or so it's 2.5 inches, and we use this to make different types of soaps. But so here's some cutters. I also want to show you the other cutter that we use. So let me take you into this room. And in here, this is our other cutter. This is our large cutter when we use blocks. So we'll be talking about blocks soon, but right now it's all ready for bath bombs. And this is our bath bomb / soap cutting machine, but what this machine does is it takes a block and then cuts them into logs, and then we change the plates and then cuts them into bars. Thank you for coming to my studio and going over slab molds with me today. So let's just do a quick recap. What we did today is we took a dough pan, which is also aka 35-pound slab mold, and we lined it. Darren, my soap honey, lined it, and then from there we used our master batch lye solution and our master batch oil solution. We added some shea butter to that solution to make this soap special. I showed you how to add goat's milk to it, and then we made the soap, and we talked about some cutters, and we also went over Soapmaker 3. Again, I hope that helped showing you a recipe and how to use Soapmaker. It's a very, very small investment for your business. You really need to get that if you don't have it, and if you have any questions about it, just ask. But thank you so much for coming to my studio today, and looking forward to see you again soon. I'm Joanna Couch, the Soap Gal.